we're here to change the world. Millions of people interact within the Gymshark family every day through social media, and although we're overwhelmed with the support we receive online, real families don't just get together on the internet. We see things differently. Hearing the stories and seeing the faces at expos across the world is a feeling like no other, but the time has come for Gymshark to evolve into something more. So many people are inspired by our athletes but never get the chance to meet them, and we don't think that's right, so we're bringing them to you. Starting now, we're travelling the world so that we can connect with the Gymshark family in a way that would be impossible online. We want to meet every person who believes in Gymshark. The brand is built by those who wear it. We can't expect to change the world without stepping out into it. Welcome to the Gymshark World Tour.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. I have literal romantic feelings for New York City. Something about it just kind of calls me in. It's something in the air. There's like an ambition and aliveness. I seriously would love to live here. Clearly, I was stoked to start off our world tour in one of my favorite places in the world. I love meeting anyone and everyone that follows the channel. It's such a huge part of being with the Gymshark team, allowing us all to get that face-to-face engagement with all the people that support us online. We got the heads up that fans were waiting for us hella early in Times Square, which is always kind of nerve-wracking to hear. I get this quiver of excitement and butterflies when I'm ready to meet a big chunk of people, and it's just the best feeling in the world. So I'm super anxious and all in all just ready to meet everyone as we walked out of the hotel and towards Times Square. I get anxiety keeping people waiting, and this day was hot, so we booked it over there. It was a usual crowded Saturday in Times Square, but you wouldn't miss the Gymshark crowd waiting. I went right into expo mode, where I can't stop cheesing and I get to force everyone to hug me. I love hearing everyone's struggles and journeys. I get letters and little presents and tears and laughs. It's always such an amazing experience. It was also really awesome to see Robin out of her element and embracing it. She's such an introvert usually. The meet and greets are kind of new to her, but I can see everyone excited to meet her, and she definitely is going to make a great impact on this tour. That day in Times Square, I saw a bunch of people just come alone, or they buddy up with other friends and everything, or I actually saw a bunch of people just connect on Twitter beforehand just to find a buddy to go with to the meet and greets. So it's really cool to see everyone kind of just connect on this level of all just wanting to improve ourselves. We met new YouTubers on their journey and saw some dudes in some old Gymshark gear that barely even I recognize. Personally, for me, I just really love to hear and live through everyone and their amazing stories and everything that they have to share.
Okay guys, so 2 years ago we've been in LA. If you check back to the videos in LA, you will see this gentleman here, AJ. Happiest guy on the stand of the day, came to help out, enjoy, joined in with the team, and came on. In that time, what we didn't realize was he was suffering with congenital heart failure. But we didn't know that. Since then, he's undergone open heart surgery, continued to train, continued to stay healthy, and appeared today, part man, part machine, with a smile on his face, and still got them there abs. This is a battery pack running into him.
So they're separate. So the biggest component is the actual pump itself, the artificial heart. There's a computer and 2 batteries in here, and this is powering it obviously through the cord. And there's a small pump underneath my left ventricle, and that's basically doing the job of my heart for me. And I'll have this until I get my transplant.
I was going to say until they implant it.
Yeah. So yeah, I've had this for about a year, and I was in the hospital for 4.5 months. Started a business while I was in there. Got out, started training again. Picked up maybe 20, 25 pounds of muscle back, and I'm gonna keep going. Yeah.
Absolutely inspirational. Yeah. So the next time that you're sat down feeling lazy,
don't do it. Get your ass up. My man's gonna take a quick picture.
4 or 5 hours went by in the heat and I was drained at the end, so we said goodbyes and headed back to the hotel. It's always nice to get back, sit down, and let it all kind of sink in. You'd be surprised how tiring it is to meet everyone. I get all this adrenaline feeding off of the excitement of every person I meet, and then bam, it hits me. But it's always so worth it. The next day was my photo shoot around Manhattan and Brooklyn while the rest of the guys hung out and did some sightseeing. Once we finished that, it was time to head out to the next location of the tour, Philly. Time to get some cheesesteaks.
When starting YouTube, I never thought it would allow me to travel to so many places, but one of those on my list of dream cities to visit is the home of the Italian stallion, Rocky Balboa. I feel like the city of Philadelphia is as much a part of those movies I grew up watching as the characters themselves, so once we landed, all I wanted to do was get out, hit the streets, and delve into the culture that surrounded us. And everybody knows I'm all about those free man hugs, so where better to be than the city of brotherly love. 5:30 a.m. the next morning, and Noel and I stepped out into the heat of the day to go and shoot at some of the most iconic locations around the city. One of which was the steps that Rocky himself ran up many years ago. To be in that place and to be able to run up those steps myself, wow, what a feeling. After a successful morning shooting, it was time to head down to Philly's own Roots Athletic. Here we met with a new member of the team, Morgan Beverly. This girl competes in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and is a legitimate badass. She can tie you in knots even a pretzel vendor would be proud of. After spending some time shooting, I couldn't help but jump on the bags. Being in Philadelphia, in the gym, working on the bags, it definitely planted the seed for my return to martial arts. We invited Morgan down to the museum the next day to meet even more of the Gymshark family with us in the Philly heat. What could be better?
All right, so we've got a couple beautiful sunny days in Philly, and then we're out and about getting ready for the meetup, and 10 minutes for the meetup, it just starts pouring rain outside. So we've got a bunch of fans up there, and we don't want to let them down, so we're gonna go tackle this rain Gymshark style, you know what I'm saying?
The heavens had opened and the weather had taken a turn for the worst. It was thundering with rain. We considered every option we had at that moment, whether it meant relocating or even rescheduling to another day so that we didn't miss the fans. Then we got word. There were hundreds of soaking wet Gymshark fans stood under the cover of the museum waiting for us. We had come all this way. There was no chance we were going to let them down. We stepped out of the car into the rain and we sprinted up those steps like Stallone himself. Now the other day it was inspiring just to be on these steps, but as we reached the top and were greeted by so many cheers and smiling faces, it was one of the most endearing and awe-inspiring moments I have witnessed during all the tours and expos that we have done. It filled me with a pride I have never felt before. Come rain or shine, we should have known. Philly was never going to let us down. That day the rain didn't spoil anything. In fact, it made it even more special. It made us appreciate every single person that came out and braved the storm to show us love. It was one of those moments where you truly realise the amount of love and support that's out there for us. We were there for 4 hours talking to every single individual that made time for us that day. Everyone got a hug, a picture, a signature, and some were even awesome enough to bring us gifts. We shared stories, smiles, and laughter, and thanks to the rain, I definitely feel a hell of a lot closer to the people of Philadelphia. There was only one thing left to do. It's basically mincemeat with, they call it cheese, it's yellow stuff, and then super white bread.
It's so hot. Oh, it's so good.
It's naughty. It's naughty. After finishing our day in true Philly style, we were ready to hit the road again, this time to Washington D.C. It was late, we were all pretty exhausted, and it was a quiet journey where I think everybody just wanted time to sit back, relax and reflect on the amazing time we had spent in an iconic city.
Being a newer Gymshark athlete, I was so excited when I was asked to join the East Coast tour. Of course, I'm smaller than Nikki and Lex in terms of social media following, so naturally in the back of my mind, I was worried that there may not be many people looking to come out to meet me. It turns out that I had nothing to worry about. As we approached the Washington Monument on the day of the meetup, I saw everyone waiting there for us, and the energy was amazing. Once we got into sight, everyone's excitement was infectious. People followed us up the path and even started screaming as we approached them. It was so cool.
People showed up, guys.
Hey, what a nice camera.
DC was definitely where I felt the most energy. In the other cities, I found most people had come to see Nikki or Lex and may have just found out about me there. In DC, there were so many of you who traveled to come out and meet me, and for somebody this early in their journey, it's such an amazing feeling. It's truly incredible to see YouTube views and Instagram likes come to life in the form of real, inspiring, and amazing people with their own struggles and stories. This is only the start of our world tour, but it's been truly inspiring and motivating for me. This stuff is all so new to me, so it's cool to realize that although we come out to inspire the fans that follow our lives day to day, the truth is we're the ones that end up inspired. The stories told, the emotions felt, and the connections made are enough to give us chills every day, and certainly motivates us to keep doing what we're doing. To be continued.